Good morning. As Jim is getting his stuff set up, we're welcoming everybody in.
Good morning, actually, afternoon. It depends on if you're in the West Coast, I will say good morning. If you're in Vietnam, I would say good morning. But in the US and you're in the East side, I will say good afternoon.
You got the recording started, so that's the number one job of the host. You already handled it for me, so we're good to go.
That's
Welcome,
right.
everybody. Happy
Yay.
Monday. Hope you had a great weekend. This is our Monday Mastermind that we do every Monday at noon Eastern Standard Time, and we want to hear from you. We've been having some great success with these open forums that we're doing. We have another one
Yes.
today. So if you thought you were just here to watch and listen, guess what? We're going to be asking for some things from you. We're all learning from each other. We're real estate agents from all different brokerages, all different parts of the country, all in different places in our career and where we're at. So it's awesome getting all these different perspectives. So before we get started, though, I want to show you some of our items that we have, some resources. So I'm going to share my screen 1 second here. You should be able to see my screen in a second. There we go. So we have some cool stuff. We have an Instagram page we'd love for you to follow on there. We also we post a lot of our different topics that we're doing and different announcements that we have and things like that. Success stories that agents who are part of our community have when they do great things, they hit certain milestones and things like that. We also record this on Mondays. I can tell you, the people that get the best results from our masterminds are the ones who attend it live. And why? Because you get to participate. And when you're the one actually speaking, sometimes I think you learn the most, right? Plus, we want to learn from you. We don't want to just have professional speakers on here, up here speaking. We want to hear from you. So we record them, though. We put them on YouTube. There's a library right now of 106 videos. So make sure you're
Woohoo.
subscribed to that. Make sure you invite people to it. The more people we have, the more perspectives we get. It's really great. Agents helping agents. We also have a Facebook page, Grow Global Mastermind Academy. And you're going to find out here in a second in the chat. That's all the links will be there. So you can go ahead and sign up for all of them today. Make sure you're good to go. We don't spam or anything like that. We only put super important, relevant information on there. And then, of course, we have a web page. The cool part about the web page, there's all kinds of resources across the top that you can check out on your own. Here is where we post what we're going to be talking about. And today, we're going to be having an open forum. It's been super great. Everybody's been loving it. The daily habits of top producing agents. Here's what we know, right? The little tiny choices you make each day are what determine your success. Success is not something that just magically happens overnight. It comes from going back to basics and doing the little tiny small smart choices compounded over a long enough time. You can have massive results. And that's what we're going to talk about today. In fact, there's a book, if you've never read it, let me recommend it to all of you. It's called The Compound Effect. It's by a gentleman named Darren Hardy. He was a millionaire in real estate by the age of 21. And he wrote a book. And so a lot of his examples in there actually are real estate examples. Now he's a business and life coach for millions of people. But Darren Hardy, Darren Hardy, it's called The Compound Effect. It's a quick read. You can do it in 1 or 2 days, but it really drills into the effect of what we're going to be talking about today is habits, developing healthy, smart habits and doing them again and again and again. It's the consistency that wins. Most people think there's some massive transformation that just happens overnight. The truth of the matter is, there is a transformation that happens when you make a decision. Tony Robbins says, change happens in an instant when you make a decision, but it's the follow-up actions again and again and again that you repeat over a long enough period of time that makes sense. And I'll give you an example, and then we're going to get started. Number one example is going to the gym. We all know how to get healthy, right? Eat less, move more. There it is. Okay, that's how you lose weight. We try to overcomplicate it, but we'll use the gym specifically as an example. For example, if you went to the gym today and you hit it harder than you've ever hit it in your life, you went 3 straight hours, right? You're doing high intensity interval training, you're doing it all, cardio. Would you be in shape by tomorrow? Who says yes? Raise your hand if it's a yes. We all know it's a big fat no, right? You're going to be sore as hell tomorrow, but you're not going to be in shape, right? What about if you did it 2 days in a row? 2 days in a row, are you going to see a difference? The answer is no, you're not. But it's the hardest you ever went. You went after it so hard, it was crazy. Out of your mind. You're still not going to be in shape. What if you did that, though, and you strung consecutive days together for a month? How about then? Would you see some results then? The answer is yes, you would notice. Would other people notice? Probably not. Not yet, but you'd notice. You'd see a difference when you stand there naked looking in the mirror, right? What if you strung 2 months together? That's when people that know you notice. And if you strung 3 months together getting after it, that's when strangers start to notice. And our business is no different than that. You go out today and you call a bunch of leads, it's not going to make any difference until you string enough of those days together again. And that's what we're going to talk about today from top producing agents. We've got agents on here that have 40 and 50 years experience. They're going to talk about habits that allow you to be successful, but don't burn you out. They keep you in the game. Because I see it happen too many times, right, Rob and Kim? We see it happen all the time. People get in, they go super hard, but they only do it for a short period of time, and that's it. What do you think, Rob?
Yeah, having a set routine is the fastest way to grow a sustainable business long term. And that includes your personal life too. That includes getting up at a certain time in the morning, going to the gym, eating your breakfast, having your coffee, getting prepared for your day. I know Mike Ferry used to be really big in we need to do role playing before we do our phone calls. And then you have a certain set time every day for your prospecting. And then you have a certain set time every day for everything that you do is scheduled out. And like Jim said, routine is key. If you do that for 1 day, 2 days, a week, that's a great start, but consistency over time is what's going to get you the best results in having success. And on this call, we're probably going to go over a lot of different ideas on what people are doing, and everybody may have a different routine that they do, which is okay. But as long as you have that consistency over time and you're doing income producing activities, right? If you're cleaning the house all day, every day for 6 months, that'll get your house clean, but it's not going to make you any more money, right? So having the right habits to follow and be consistent over time.
So I love what Rob said. I think the first thing that he said that was a gold nugget that he said so quickly, but I don't want to miss on that, and that is time blocking. I think in fact, if somebody can put that in the chat for us, we'll keep like a running tattle in there, a tabulation in there, because people can download the chat later. Time blocking. All the pros time block. They have a set time and a set schedule when they do these activities, right? So you can have these activities like Rob said, but if you do a mishmash all over the place, it's not going to be as good as if you consistently do it over and over and over again. Thank you, Tony. You put in time blocking. So number one thing is you have to be able to time block. We all have this our best friend that we carry in our hands. Mine's not doing it because of the green screen, but our cell phones basically. We can use the calendar in there to time block out a specific time. Now, time blocking issue. Who wants to say what the time blocking issue is? Who wants to give an objection to time blocking? Let's hear it. We know they're in there. They're running in your head. Let's hear one.
You can
Number one
miss
thing
out
is I don't have enough what?
time.
I don't have enough time, right? How am I going to do that? And the answer is this. We all have 24 hours in a day, but you make time for the things that are important to you. You do. You will find space. You will find something to eliminate. And sometimes you got to take a hard look. Like my worst enemy is Netflix. Oh, Netflix, man. I get some show going on. I started watching some Jack Ryan, this guy that shoots stuff up and blows stuff up all the time. And I'm awake till 4 a.m. watching just because it just keeps playing, so I don't have an excuse to hit the pause button. And here I went, I blew, 4, 5, 6 hours plus my sleep watching some TV show. Fake. It's not even real, so it can happen to any of us, but we all have to take a hard look and find out maybe there are things that we have to eliminate to do the things we want. So time blocking, first thing on there. So what are some healthy habits? Tony Williams, I'm going to come to you next. Because I think Tony, you probably got the record on time and service here for agents on here. He started when he was like 3 years old. But Tony Williams, Atlanta, how long have you been in, and what's a habit that you have to do all the time for successful agents?
46 years of all things.
46 years. He started when he was 2 years old. So, okay. So I'm sorry. I thought you were 4 when you started.
You know, the most important thing I can say is stay engaged. You know, go and take people with you to rallies, go to events, get out of the house. You know, Netflix will kill you, you know, but you got to stay engaged. You got to get out and get it going. That's just so important. Second thing is be real fast on returning that phone call. And honestly, I get to a point where I'm like, I've got to talk to somebody instead of texting, you know? I mean, it's real simple to say, I'm going to text real quick, and then you forget about it. And they don't respond back. But the thing is that calling people is so important and doing it fast, you know? That's what
Tony, let me drill down on that. What is so important for human beings when they're communicating? What is so important about the phone call versus just sending a written text? A written text is fast. My wife can text faster than she can talk, right? What is so important though when dealing with a client and trying to build a connection of talking to them?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's a relationship. It's a relationship builder. You know, a verbal phone call is going to allow that communication where, you know, text is good, it's convenient. They can answer back whenever they want to answer back. But the voice, it just starts building that relationship. And that's what it's all about is, you know, have a long-term relationship where you can, you know, communicate people and they trust you when they hear you. Sometimes I'll get a text and I'm like, what in the world did they say that for? And then I can turn around and give them a call and it's completely different than what the text, how I transcribe the text, you know.
Yeah.
Tony, I heard it like this because I heard you say it and I want to repeat it. The voice conversation builds the relationship. And what I've been taught is electronic communication is good for maintaining the relationship. Yeah. So if you're looking to build the relationship and not just be connected, you want to be connection. That's the person that people are going to use is the person they have a connection, not just being connected. So a DM, things like that makes you connected, but it doesn't build the connection. Once you have the connection, then you can use the electronic communication to maintain the relationship, to transfer information and things like that. I thought that was a great point, Tony. It's something about the human brain. We are still wired, even though we're in is this the 20th century or 22nd century? What is this right now? 21st century? I don't know. I was born in the 1900s. I don't know. So look, that's what we all want to do. The average person, client, knows 16 agents by first name. That's according to NAR. Imagine that. The person you're talking to knows 16 realtors in their sphere of influence by first name. Who are they going to use? Here's a hint. It's not the best realtor. Not the one with the best stats, not the one with the prettiest face, you know, Rob Campbell, right? They're going to use the person they have the best connection with. And you build that through, if you can do face-to-face, obviously we call it belly to belly. But if not, the phone call. So Tony Williams is on to it there. So beautiful. I put those two in the chat. Stay engaged, answer the phone, and quickly return calls if you missed it. Who else wants to give a pro tip for something that you have to do as a habit that you need to do daily? What's a daily habit that all the pros do? Who wants to go next?
I mean, I can go next.
Go ahead, Kim.
I keep my life in a blocking simple. Like I keep things simple because, you know, if you go to the gym, you work out, you know, whatever, you need to block out that time to go to the gym, right? So for me, three simple things that I do pretty much daily, Monday to Friday, and then I take Saturday, Sabbath off, and, you know, I have open house and stuff on Sunday, but those are basic stuff. But these are the three things that I always do. So I write it out to be clear, you know, for a brand new person, you got to block out the networking time. That's the number one, right? Just so block out the networking time, which means Monday to Friday, I gotta go somewhere. So on a Sunday, you can plan blocking out where am I going to meet the people, church, you know, or birthday parties or places of networking with other agents or networking with your community. So right then and there, that networking is the block number one. You got to put into your weekly schedule. And that right there, that doesn't deviate if you are a brand new agent or you are a seasoned agent. It doesn't matter, right? So you time block on that networking time. That's number one. Number two,
You're not networking from your couch, just sitting on
oh,
your couch, just waiting for people to show up at your house and say, sell me a home?
oh no, watching Netflix and then wait until after the show and then no, I'm kidding. So the number two is I realized I noticed that I guess I came to this country. English is my second language, so learning has become one of the biggest habit for me. So mastery. So we're in real estate. If I were in a brain surgery, right, then I'll do the other stuff. But since I'm in real estate, what I do every day, Monday to Fridays, I block out that half an hour to an hour to learn something about real estate, to look up the Federal Reserve. I mean, like for a lot of people, I mean, it took me a long time to know what are the Federal Reserve people do. You know what I mean? Like, took me a long time to know. But for a brand new person, you need to know who the Feds are. So because those are people who control the rates of the market. So know that. So get knowledge. So that's number two. So again, networking, learn about real estate, and then number three, whoever you just network with on block one, you gotta like text them like crazy. Like friends of mine, I mean, people like, wow, they feel special because I personally text them. I don't have a group text. I text people. Like I invite, one of the coaches. I mean, he will be known, Jason Miller. He doesn't want to show his face right now, but Jason Miller, he's one of the coaches that coached a lot of basketball player, a lot of athletics, and he is getting his real estate license right now. But he plugged into every one of EXP call, and he said, Kim, I call this one, that's where I want to be. And he's about to get his license because he said because this guy coaching a lot of athletic people. And I told him, like, if you use those same coaching principle in real estate, you're going to make a killing. Icon is just, it's just a simple step for people who actually doing the networking and then learn everything. And then the step three that I'm saying is following up and do client care for the people you network with. Because how many times, and I'm guilty of it, went to networking, have 5 people, I went home and I don't know what to do with them. Well, I don't know about you guys, but I've done that. And so now I have a new system where whoever I meet, I will make sure that I have them in, a place of called CRM so I can follow up with them. So three things. That's all the three habits that you need. If you're brand new, you're a seasoned agent, that's what you're gonna do. Again, repeat, right? Networking, block it out, and then learn something new. I mean, if you are a mega agent right now, learn from the other people. If you have a team of 20, 30, 50 agents right now, how do you go to 100? Because right now at our company, we have agent that has 150 agents in their organization. You see what I'm saying? So now what do you need to do on that learning block? You're a seasoned agent. You need to do at least learn how that person in my group that have 150 team member, they call mega team. And then third, just go back and follow up with those people and implement those things you learn. Go ahead, Tony.
Tony Justo. Oh, real quick, before Tony goes, Kim, I want to say something about the education part. A question we get a lot of times from agents is, how much time should I spend on education? There's somebody named Brian Tracy you want to look up, and Brian Tracy's a productivity coach. He has what's called the E to E ratio. E to E. How much time are you spending on entertainment versus education? If your ratio is whack, like if you stayed up all night like me and watched Jack Ryan on Netflix, that's whack. You should not have more time each day spent on entertainment over what you spend on education. So if you're spending an hour on TV, you might, want to take a look. Did I spend at least an hour learning something today? Something new that's going to help promote my business. And if you ever take a look at that, it's humbling. It's humbling how much time we spend entertaining ourselves, keeping ourselves entertained. When I'm in the car, I'm driving and I listen to sports radio as they talk bad about my Cleveland Browns on there because they deserve it because they're terrible, but they talk good about my Buckeyes. But, should I be listening to sports radio or should I be listening to an audiobook while I'm driving in the car? Zig Ziglar called that your university on wheels. If you don't have time, people say, I don't have time to get educated. I don't have time to read a book. His question always was, what are you doing while you're in the car? And Zig Ziglar's old school. He had cassette tapes in his car. He didn't have 8 tracks, but he used cassette tapes back in the day. Now you just have it on your phone, on a podcast. You Bluetooth it in your car, and you can listen and learn on a book. Like right now, I'm working on Never Split the Difference. It's FBI hostage negotiator, talking about how to negotiate deals. So that's great. Good stuff on that, Kim. And then following up, stay in touch. You talked about CRM. We're going to come back to technology in a little bit, but I want to go to Tony Justo next. Tony.
Actually, I'm jumping a little advanced into technology, but
Let's go for it. Let's go with it right now. Go.
When I say this, but it goes right on perfectly with what Kim said for follow-up. I've switched to giving out digital business cards, because then guess what? My information is all right in your phone. And when I call, oh, that's Tony, you have me right there. It's so much easier because, going to networking events, collecting business cards, much like Kim said, what do you do with them? They get thrown in somewhere. Next thing you know, you're cleaning out your office and you're like, oh, yeah, I remember this person, and you don't follow up and you feel like a fool. And then if you do, they're like, oh, I'm not going to talk to you because you're unprofessional. You didn't follow up until months later. So I'll post in the chat the one I use. It's called Cards, CARDZ, and it's a free on the App Store. So use it if you guys are interested.
The best CRM or the best digital business card, the very best one, if everybody gets ready, get your pen out, because this is the best one. All right, everybody ready? It's the one that you use consistently, right? So here's a question for the group. Somebody throw in there. How often should you be in your CRM? How often everybody should know what that is, right? Customer relationship manager, right? How often should you be in your CRM? The top producers, how often are they?
Daily, man. That's like.
Say it again, Kim.
Daily, like Tony said that too. Everybody.
Tony, Kim Manson, they all say daily, right?
Daily.
Should maybe it be multiple times a day? If that's your business, more than just once a day. I mean, should you be looking at it? Should you have set times? I'm going to look at it in the morning, see what clients my CRM is telling me I should be in touch with, my hot 10 list. I'm following up with those people and contacting them, doing what I need to do to move the ball forward from there. I'm taking a break, going to show houses, doing some education, right? What about maybe around lunchtime? Should you be in there again in the evening? What do you think? How about you, Felicia Ferguson? What do you think about that on the CRM? Felicia's like, I didn't know he was going to make me talk on here.
Felicia is amazing. She's a top-notch producer, very humble. So you better share some nugget, girls. You can unmute it.
She says, I can't get it unmuted. Oh, because you're on the phone, so you got to hit the little button on it, don't you? Let's see what happens. I gave you the
Yeah, Felicia.
There we go.
There you go.
There you go.
Okay, can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Okay, great. This is my first time on here.
Oh, first timer, you have to talk. That's the rule. First person. It's like Felicia, it's like Fight Club. Your first time to Fight Club, you have to fight. But the second rule is you don't talk about Fight Club. So go ahead, Felicia. You're up.
Okay. So I am, of course, guilty. I have probably maybe 500 people in my CRM, and I have not did a great job at checking on it as much as I should. So, but I have done that in the past. I was consistent with it, and somewhere along the way, I got away from it. So, but it does work.
I love the authenticity, Felicia. And the great thing about these masterminds is it reminds all of us, like, why did I stop doing that? It was working. Why did I stop?
Yes.
Here's what I think, maybe, Felicia. Sometimes something that's easy to do, my CRM, is also easy not to do.
Right.
And so we can slide off. I mean, why did I eat a huge piece of chocolate cake earlier? It's because it's easy to do. I mean, it's one of those things. And doing it once where I didn't check my CRM today is not a mistake. It's not going to ruin you. But if you string enough of those together, then it can become a problem. So it goes both ways with habits, right? We all fall off on something we're supposed to do. Is one piece of chocolate cake I had today going to kill everything that I'm doing? No. But if I string that together enough days, it's going to be a mess for me. So I love that you came out on that, Felicia, and talked about that, because we've all done it, right?
Right.
The
It
CRM's
it
just
yes, what happened was I've been with EXP almost 2 years coming up. And when I came on with EXP, that's when I got out of it. I wasn't focused on it anymore because I was trying to learn all of the new way. And now that we're talking about it, I remember how I got away from it.
yeah. But now you're
So
back in it. When we get off
yeah,
this mastermind at 1, I bet you that CRM gets opened. Isn't that right, Felicia?
that's right. That's right.
You know, for everybody listening, Kim Campbell and Tony Williams and I were at a mastermind for the top 250 agents in the country. And we go and we see Tom Ferry. We flew into Dallas, Texas, and everyone was asking him for stock tips and stuff like that, because he's an amazing investor, multi-millionaire. And somebody asked him, if you had $10,000 right now, where would you invest it? Like what Bitcoin, what crypto, gold, silver, what stock would you put it in right now? And he had everybody stop. And he called for complete silence and had everybody look up. He said, get your pens out, because this is it. This is going to be the tip of your lifetime right here. And I want you to write down, if you had $10,000 to invest, every stock in the world, every crypto, every gold, silver, whatever, precious metal, he goes, I would invest it in your CRM. I would go into your CRM and your sphere of influence, and I would take that $10,000 and pour it into there, into building a connection, reconnecting with everybody, not just saying hello, build a connection with them so you get back in there. And he goes, and you will get that money back 100-fold. And that was and this guy, he trains obviously the top agents in the world, all over the world. And it was great because everybody was like, oh, and he goes, I'm telling you, he goes, it's way better than putting it in the stock market. Invest it in your sphere of influence. So I love that. That's great. Who else has a top habit that top producers do that you have to do if you're going to be a top producer? Who else wants to speak up? How about this?
Hank,
Your business that you have, your business, your real estate business, are people that hire you hiring the name on the sign, the brokerage that you're with, or are they hiring you? Who wants to answer that?
Hank has his hands raised up. Come on, Hank.
Whose hand? There you go, Hank. Hank Wilson. Take it, brother.
Hank Wilson.
I think I matter more than the company brand, 100%. I'm branding myself. I mean, we have good and bad agents in this town with our company and every company. So I'm branding myself. One thing, I'm a high producer. One thing I think I have to do is plan out my schedule it's kind of funny that you said that, because another one of my agents is in here and we were talking about scheduling and doing what you're saying you're going to do. I can't wake up every morning and not know what foot I'm putting forward. So every Sunday, I write out my entire plan for the week down to the meals that my family and I cook for dinner. It's probably over the top, but I have to have a routine and know exactly what I'm doing. And that has kept me on track for 15 years in this business.
So Hank, let's lay it out for people that aren't doing that. So you're planning out a week in advance every day. You're doing that on Sunday. Or you also do have a monthly, quarterly calendar? How's that look for you, Hank, when you're spelling that out to give people a roadmap?
I've got a huge yearly calendar in my home office that, to be honest with you, I don't keep up with as actively as my weekly one. I've got a little black notebook. Anyone on my team knows it. I carry it with me everywhere. It's got notes, brainstorming, my schedule, whatever that is. But I schedule my gym time. I schedule the time that I check expireds and for sale by owners. I schedule the video text follow-ups I send to cold leads. Everything is on there. It doesn't look pretty, but if you go through this notebook and look at the last 3 years, it looks exactly the same.
So Hank, you're a top performer. Are you starting your day at like noon? Are you sleeping in till 10 a.m. and then trying to plan in there? What's a day in Hank Wilson's day look like? If you don't mind sharing with us.
It's not very exciting. I get up at 5 and go to Orange Theory. I come back. My wife and I walk with our kids. We cook breakfast for the kids, put them on the bus. When I say cook breakfast, I'm not cooking. My wife is. I am in front of my laptop checking the expireds for the day. And then I go through each lead that my team has from Zillow and our other lead sources. And if I see something that looks like it's not being acted upon, I'm shooting them text messages. So I start on my team first. And then after we get the kids on the bus, I start working on myself.
So everybody's hearing that. Some people are going, what? I have to get up in the morning? I got to get up in the morning. Yeah. Top producers in real estate have a schedule. And I think the saying is, Hank, correct me if I'm wrong, I'd rather work 80 hours a week for myself than 40 hours a week for someone else. Is that right?
Oh, absolutely. If I don't have showings, my goal is to be done for the day by the time the kids get off the bus at 3:40. So my life is I'm done in the afternoons with the exception of showings and listing appointments.
So Hank is scheduling, I love what he says, scheduling in family time. I love the fact that you're taking the kids to the bus and having breakfast with them, and you're doing your business, but you're making time for things that are important to you. And I bet one of your core values is family.
The most important thing. But I have to provide to, with the income and the sales that I have, that provides me the freedom to do whatever I want with my family.
I love that. And so what we were talking about is the time blocking and schedules and things like that. And how many of us know agents that don't get their day started till 1, 2 in the afternoon, right? Or been guilty of that ourselves. That's not what top producers do. Top producers, like Hank's talking about, he's planning it out ahead of time. He knows he's getting up at 5 a.m. Hank, you're excited to get up at 5 a.m., right? You're just jumping out of bed full of energy. You're excited about that. Or are you making yourself do it?
I hate it. I don't need an alarm anymore, but it doesn't feel great when I'm getting in my car at 4:40. But by 8 o'clock every morning, I feel like I've dominated 99% of my market as far as what I'm going to accomplish for the entire day.
Hank, have you ever read the book The Miracle Morning? You ever heard of that?
I have, if you want the honest truth, I have plugged books like that into AI and had it summarize it for me. So
Yeah.
I'd like to think I do.
Utilizing time, so that's perfect, right? Or they used to call it Cliff's Notes back in the day when before you were born, Hank. That's what they had. They had Cliff's Notes. They were like 11-page. They took the book and condensed it into that. But you're right. It's a great way to get the information without all the fluff. If that's the way you learn, right? Some people learn more and seeing in story format. So do you want to tell everybody a little bit about what that means? Is that what got started you in the mornings, or were you military, or what was it got you started getting up?
No, I'm big into fitness, and honestly, I've been successful in real estate probably since the second year I was in it. So I tell everybody all the time at 8 o'clock, my phone starts ringing and texting title companies, inspectors, fires to put out. So I can be uninterruptedly productive before 8 a.m. So I cherish that time. The flip side of it, and the reality is, I'm gassed by 8:30 at every night. I'm in bed watching a murder documentary on Hulu or something. But I like it, and I'm happy with that schedule.
I love it. I love the fact you're prioritizing your time blocking, and you found a system that works for you, but you get the productivity out of the way first thing in the morning. There's a book that's called Eat That Frog. Anybody ever read that book before? Right,
Man.
Kim, Rob, where it's by Brian Tracy. And here it is. It's based on an African proverb that says if people have tasks that you have to do in real estate. Let's say it's prospecting. Dare I say prospecting, right? Nobody wants to do that, right? And it's something that's ugly, so people will push it to the back. They'll wait for it to do it till the end of the day, right? So eat that frog is this. It's an African proverb, but it said if you had to look at a frog, if you had a frog, big, nasty, bumpy, greasy frog, and you had to eat it every day to stay alive, would it be better to just chow it and get it done with in the morning so the rest of the day is good, like Hank's doing? Or would it be better to let it sit there on your desk and stare at it all day and be dreading it all day till the end of the day? Which one's going to be better for your mental health?
No morning.
Felicia's right.
Now.
Get it over with.
At 4:40, when he got out of bed, I know what Hank will be doing. He's like, I'm going to eat the sucker right now.
Down on the frog. Frog's gone. I'm digesting the frog by the time everybody else is waking up.
Exactly.
But hey, one more thing that I think is important about what I do is when I write out that schedule, it's never vague. I'm not going to say prospecting 9 to 11. It doesn't work like that. I have to put specific things that I'm doing, because if it's vague, then I've got to spend time researching whatever it is that I'm going to do. So just be specific. That's my best piece of advice.
So, for example, Hank, would your prospecting say today I'm calling expireds or FSBOs? Are you plugging it out that detailed?
Yeah. So I the other agent on my team that's in this chat, I sent her a picture of it this morning, and I think I have video text Q1 leads. So anyone that hasn't responded, I'm sending the first 90 days of Zillow and sign calls a video text message from me specifically today. things like that. Same thing with expireds. I mean, expireds are, we have one today in our local market. So I can't put expireds for 2 hours and have 2 hours worth of stuff to do. It's going to take me, 10 minutes. So it's better the more you can dial in, the more successful you're always going to be.
I love that.
Mm.
I love that plan. Let's talk about, nobody's got their hand up yet, but if anyone wants to talk, you don't have to put your hand up if you don't want to do, if you want to unmute and talk. But how about social media? Is social media important now as agents, or, I mean, probably under the umbrella of marketing, but let's just call it online marketing instead of social media. What are some best practices or things that pros do with social media? Who wants to talk on that? How often should you post on social media? Anybody want to take it?
I'm a real believer in reviewing where I am and asking for reviews as well. The more that our review traffic happens on my own Google business profile, and the more I leave reviews, I'm finding now for where I'm having lunch or wherever it may be, the more activity I'm getting from clients, callers, I should say, where I'm not having to pay for an ad. I mean, they're contacting me because of all the activity that we're doing. So we're doing a daily habit right now of making sure we review everywhere we go, and that's adding back toward our reviews for us as well. So
Tony,
that's how the
you're
social media
reviewing.
I'm all about.
Tony, just to clarify, you're reviewing other places, like you go to a restaurant or something like that, you're reviewing them.
Yeah, I'm reviewing them. I'll just take a picture of their sign, their logo, the inside of the place, food, whatever it might be. Things that's not real important to me, but I'll leave a quick review on their Google Maps. I go to Google Maps, look up the business, leave a review. That activates more traffic for me for my ratings inside Google as well. And then that activates all these people that are out there looking for the top realtor in our area, which I come up as in a lot of different places now.
Google is where everybody goes, right? Instead of being based on interruption marketing,
Right.
social media posts and things like that is interruption marketing. We're interrupting somebody who's looking at their neighbor's breakfast that they're having, or little Johnny's on the honor roll, right? Where Google is search-based. Somebody is intentionally going there and typing in the search box what they're looking for. And Tony's got an amazing setup for his Google My Business. If he's up for it, he might want to post what he's done. You can do it on your own, but also if you have the resources, you could pay someone to fix it and get it up and running. And he's done some incredible stuff with that. Leads coming in from Google for free without paying for an ad, based on posting and updating daily his Google My Business page. But you have to have it set up right in the beginning. If Tony wants to share that, he can.
Yeah, I mean, you've got to go in and create a Google business profile, and then go through the menu of things that they require you to do. If you run into a roadblock on that, I'll be glad to help you out. For instance, it took me forever to figure out what kind of insurance policy they wanted me to post up, and finally I figured out it was the E&O from our company. So I was putting my car insurance in there. I was putting my umbrella insurance in there. It took me about 2 weeks to figure out that it was actually my E&O. So there's different things in there they require you to do, but once you get those 8 or 10 things done, they're not that hard to do. Once you get those things done, then things start rolling, where all of a sudden these reviews, you're asking people all the time, would you leave me a review? I mean, I would ask anybody on today's Zoom call, please leave me a review. But the thing what'll happen is I get a review like once a week. That builds more credibility, and
Right.
And then the public, when they're out there searching for a realtor, on this side of Atlanta, they're going to see me. You look up Tony and Pam Williams, Ackworth, Georgia, and see what happens, and it's going to come up, and it's just because that traffic. We've gone from 39 reviews to 121 in 6 months. And
Great
it
job.
just works.
And when AI comes out and somebody's talking to the AI in their house and say, hey, set me up with 3 appointments next week for a realtor to list my house, the AI is going to go out. You think Google business reviews are going to be a highly rated information source for that AI? the answer is not just yes, it's hell yes. It's gonna be, it's gonna be huge. If
Yeah, it's big.
you're using their platform, right? And the AI is going to come in there and pull from there. It's going to be a huge, huge piece of that. So
You
I love
know,
it. Go
we've
ahead,
been
Kim.
talking a lot about great habits of all these top agents, and I am so appreciative of it. So now this is for me. This is a note to Kim. Okay. So this is what I'm gonna do. I have been meaning to give Tony a review because of him, I started my Google review. Okay. So I started this year and I'm kind of shy of asking because I'm that kind of person, like, don't you know who I am? You know what I mean? I've been real estate 27 years. Da, da, da. So I'm humble. I'm like, okay. So I talk to every one of my kind, but I have yet asking, even told him that I'm gonna after the call. So I'm committed today to execute on, like, I'm gonna give Tony a review today and I'm asking for the same whenever he's doing it, right? And guys, now you guys know my phone number. If you're building your online market, I am committed to a new habit. This is the thing that the top producer do, is that we don't always do what, what was supposed to be done, but I commit to you guys publicly, right? I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do personal Google review for Tony and for whoever asking me to do going forward on a more consistent basis. And I'm also gonna ask for review as well. So Tony, I owe it to you today because he has been like on it like a Donkey Kong, and I'm like, oh my God, I have not done this, and I'm too embarrassed to kind of like admit it. I haven't done it, right? But a top producer, somebody who like, you know what, I didn't do it for Lisa. You haven't done something? Go, girl, do it today. For me, I'm gonna do a review for Tony today.
I
And
love it. We're changing lives and making commitments here
every
today, right
day.
here.
Yes.
It's like church on Monday at noon, Eastern Standard. I love it. Here we go. So let me ask you this
Confession and then
question.
do it. Yep.
Who out there in the crowd listening that would like to speak has written goals? Not just goals that you have, but you have them written down. Who's got them and would like to speak? I got a few questions for you. Anybody who's got written goals? Mine are right here on the wall next to the computer right here. Anybody got them? Who wants to talk?
I've got written goals.
All right, Jordan, let's hear, man. So your goals, how often do you rewrite your goals? I'm gonna interview you if that's all right.
Yeah, that's fine. I wrote them. I wrote them last year in October.
Uh-huh.
I guess I'm kind of doing a October to October goal setting.
And so with your goals, what would you recommend? What do you think? How often should you review your goals and look at them?
I mean, I also keep them posted up. So I guess the main thing would just be looking at my goals every single day to make sure that I'm on track to meet those goals.
So you're using your goals as a rudder for your life so that you can read those each day and know this is where I'm at and this is why I'm doing these activities so they maintain the course to head towards those goals.
Exactly.
So let me ask you this, Jordan. If you hit a goal, what do you do? Do you back off then and let go, or what are you doing?
No, pushing to the floor. So, like right now, I actually just met all of my goals from October to October, and I've still got, I don't know how many months until October. So
6 weeks.
I've got to do pedal to the floor. I've got to, because it's all just extra income.
So we can all agree Jordan's going to be rewriting his goals after we get off the mastermind, and then we're going to up them, right? We're going to keep pumping them up, Jordan?
Yeah, I mean, so right now my gross commission income goal was 256. I think I'm at 275 right now.
Ooh.
And so I guess just pushing to 350 would be the goal for October. So
yeah, let's go after it and get it. We're going to check back in with you on October 1, see how it
We're gonna hold you
out.
accountable to it now that you publicly commit that.
So
no problem.
Jordan, what would your recommendation be to somebody who doesn't have written goals? If they don't have them written down and they're not reading them daily, has it changed your life? What would it be if you didn't have them? Where do you think you'd be if you didn't have them?
Oh, I don't know. It feels good that I did have them and that I've met them. If I didn't have them, I mean, I don't know. I guess I probably wouldn't hit it. I don't know. I don't want to think about that.
The analogy that I've heard is it's like this. It's like life is like a river and you're floating down the river. And the end of the river is the end of your life, right? When goes over the waterfall, let's say. If you don't have clear, defined, written goals that you review every day, it's like going down the river without a rudder on your boat. You're just floating along, and wherever the river takes you, it's going to take you. You might go to this side, you might go to that side, you might get jammed up over here, you might hit the rocks on this side, right? And to me, when I saw that, when I pictured that in my head, it made a lot of sense. You need to look at them like if you're piloting a boat down the river of your life, do you take your hand off the rudder and just let it go for 3-4, months, or do you keep your hand on it all the time? And the answer would be the goal setting, and reading the goals every day keeps you in line as to where you're going to go. So appreciate that, Jordan. Thanks for sharing on that. I appreciate that.
Absolutely.
So, we were talking a little bit about personal brand, and you have your brand, and that people hire you. They're not hiring the name on the sign. It could be XYZ Real Estate, whatever it is that you're a part of, but the people that hire you. You're the one in there doing the interview for the listing appointment. It's not the head of your company that's doing it. So if people are going to hire you, would it make sense as a pro to work on you every day? Where I'm from, we call that personal growth. Does anybody here have a personal growth plan or path or some type of activity that they follow on a daily basis they'd like to share? And if no one shares, you're stuck listening to me talk. So hopefully somebody's got something. Who's got a personal path that wants to talk about what they do? If you don't have one, let me recommend a thing called the Miracle Morning. Changed my life. I was just like you, too busy, didn't have the time to do personal growth, right? I mean, too busy. I got the air quotes on there, right? And so when am I going to find time to do it? My problem always was, okay, I'll do personal growth at like 3 p.m. What happens to a realtor at 3 p.m. when you have something planned like that? All hell breaks loose. A closing's blowing up. A client can't get in. The showing agent pulled the keys, didn't put them back in the box, right? It's just something crazy like that happens. So the Miracle Morning talked about this. It's written by a guy named Hal Elrod, and there's one specifically for real estate agents. And I could recommend this to you if you haven't read this book. The Miracle Morning for Real Estate Agents gives you a specific path and plan to spend every day 1 hour on yourself. Why would you do that? Because all the big productivity coaches, Tony Robbins will talk about this, all the big people out there say you have to work harder on yourself than you do on your business, because you are the business, you are the brand, right? We heard that earlier. I am the brand. I'm working on me. What does that mean, personal growth? I hear Jordan on there. We'll mute you out for a second. So we don't get feedback. There we go.
Sorry, I was trying to jump out.
No problem. So who's doing that? Who's meditating? Who's reading a book every day? And who's doing that? Who has your plan? Let's hear what we got going on out there. Because I know it's out there. You're just all being shy. You guys are top producers. You're on here. You're on a mastermind. Go ahead, Laura.
Yep, meditating. Well, that's me.
So what's meditation look like for you? For nobody who's done it, what's it done for you? How do you do it?
It does so much for you. And, it doesn't have to be a big production. You could do it 10 minutes in your car. You could sit at your desk, close your eyes, deep breathing. Breathing is so important for you. It centers you. It relaxes you. It lowers your heart rate. It reduces stress. It helps you to focus. There's just so many benefits to it. Up at my lake house, I'm always taking a picture out on my kayak, and I say that I meditate on the lake because it's my happy place, because I've got the water below me, the sun above me, the trees surrounding me, and then I open my eyes and the birds are coming by and the fish are coming by, and it's when you really start to do it on a regular basis, it absolutely reduces your stress. And as we know, life is very stressful, very expensive, very busy. And we all need to take a little time for ourselves and slow down. And you can literally do it in 5 minutes a day. Some deep breathing, close your eyes, and that's all you have to do.
And there's apps for that too, right, Laura? Like if somebody's like, I've never done it, it sounds hokey.
And you can just go on YouTube and you could just ask for meditation music, and there's just endless amounts of it. And there's guided meditations if you wanted to do a little bit longer, and it'll just kind of walk you through something. when you close your eyes, that might be 15, 20 minutes. I mean, people meditate for hours, but if you just have small little bite size, so you don't think that it's overwhelming. And, typically your mind is going to race, and that's normal because people will say, I can't get into it. I can't relax because your mind's racing, but you'd be surprised, just
Therein lies the problem, right, Laura? They just said it. I
yeah,
can't relax. I can't slow my brain. That's why you
yep,
must do
right,
meditation.
right,
I've got
absolutely.
this monkey running around in my head that's going crazy all the time, smashing the cymbals. I have to do
Oh,
meditation.
me too. Me
I
too.
lose
And
my
my
mind.
my brain keeps going. And basically what I'll do is I'll just say, thank you for that thought, but I'll think about you later. And then I just try to relax. And you could do a mantra. You could picture your happy place. Mine is always on a beach with palm trees and the sand, and I'm walking in the water. That's my happy place. So there's so many things you can do. Some people just listen to the air conditioner humming or a fan humming, just something that just a bass.
Yeah.
There's so many ways to do it.
It's great. The guided one is great if you've never done it. Use a guide to guide you through it. They talk you through it. They have the most calming, soothing voices, these people too. I'm so
Yeah, they
jealous of the
do.
sound. It's amazing. So I
Right.
love that. How about this? How about a vision board? Who in here has a vision board that they have? And tell us how you build it and what you use it for. Does anybody have one?
Used to.
Go
That
ahead, Kim. Go ahead. What?
long ago, I used to do it. That's before I would try to hit some goals. So I used to do it, but not anymore. So Tony, share with us, buddy.
Well, it's kind of sort of one. It's my dream house, and I keep adding things that I want in there and to do. And if I see like a photo, I'll add it, because it's my inspiration for what I want. I know I have this huge thing, and this house, if anyone looked at it, they'd be like, "You're never gonna get all that in there." I'll figure out a way to get it all in there.
We're building an addition for you, Tony. Who here has read the book Think and Grow Rich? Raise your hand if you've read Think and Grow Rich. What does Think and Grow Rich say? If you can feel it, see it, think it, materialize it in your head, you can achieve it.
Mhm.
And so a vision board, we have to remember as humans, we think in pictures,
Yeah,
right? We think in pictures.
we
And so
do.
having those pictures of what you want, Laura was talking about being on the beach, walking down the beach, right? It's her happy place and things like that with the palm trees. That picture somewhere, that photo of seeing it reminds you, and a vision board is an incredible way for you to remind your brain, why am I doing this crap? Why am I signed up to do prospecting at 9 a.m.? I don't want to get the hot sheets out and call expired listings. I don't want to go see 3 FSBOs today and knock on their doors and tell them that I have a way to present them a cash offer in 10 minutes. Would they be willing to let me walk through their house and take a look at it, right? Nobody wants to do that. The top producers don't want to do it, but they find a way to power through it. And it's by meditation, calming their brain, but also having a vision board. I'm doing this dirt junk that I don't want to do. I almost said a bad word, Kim, so that I can have these things that I want, right? That's what the vision board's on it. What about this? Exercise. Who here exercises daily? Raise your hand if you exercise daily. Kim, what's it do for you? Tony, Felicia, okay, so the top producers exercise. What's it do for you though, Kim?
Vanity.
Exercise.
Vanity
What is
works sometimes. I'm kidding. I say vanity works sometimes.
yeah, vanity, sure.
I'm cheap. I told people like I met a friend of mine yesterday, and his family came to visit us here in Atlanta, Georgia. And he's like, dude, you haven't, I'm like 35 years, right? High school buddy. So, and his wife came. And so long story short, I wore the pants that I was in real estate 25 years ago. I told people, I'm like, my goal is to wear clothes that I was wearing 20, 30 years ago. And I still have them in the closet. People like, you should throw them away. I'm like, no, my goal to fit back into them. And I mean, when I weighted myself, that's vanity, right? I'm like, I'm cheap and I want to look good. That's it.
What's the exercising doing for your business, Kim? Does it get your brain woke up? Does it
Absolutely.
release
Oxygen.
endorphins?
But you know what, Jim? All these stuff are good that we talk about outside a lot, how it does and all the thing. But for me, first thing first is actually, spend some time with like 5, 10 minutes on the Audible Bible that I do every day in the morning. I started from Old Testament, all the way to Ezekiel right now on the book. So for those of us who are grounded in the Lord and God, started out with that. It has always been good. I mean, you can see what our what our ancestor actually did, like Abraham, all the mistake they learned. So we too learn that. And so for me, I go there and have a gratitude, to God every day. And because, all these things are great that we're doing, but without that relationship with God and that personal relationship every day, walk to the garden. Thank God for that. Walk out. Thank God for the body, the legs I'm able to walk. You know what I mean? You don't have to go far. The vision boards, look for me, the new vision boards. I'm looking in the mirror. I'm like, how are you showing up today, Kim? This is my vision board. Literally, I'm like, well, I'm healthy, and then I'm like, how are you doing? So how do you show up? So my vision board now, just look in the mirror. That's my new vision board. It's like, I'm going to groom this woman to be a high value woman for God for the rest of her life. And that is my new vision board. And so I used to have all that, but I did away with all that stuff. My vision board is my mirror.
So
now.
we're spiritual beings in a physical body.
Yes, sir.
And so absolutely everyone in the way that they want to practice it should be practicing some form of spirituality, and people find it through all different ways. But Kim said something very important. She does every day. She reads.
So Jim, one way.
Go ahead.
One
Let's hear
way,
it.
yeah, enhance that a little further is that if you will volunteer to teach others, whether it's in the real estate business or, I teach every Sunday where I'm at church, and it prepares me during the week, as I study, to get ready. And I'm telling you, your brain, you just got to keep it going, Yeah, you got to keep it going. One of the best ways is prepare by, teaching others.
I love teaching others, Tony. How about reading? Reading seems to be a lost art that people have forgotten to read. We have to remember that these old brains are thousands of years old. Yes, we're in the 21st century, but reading has been around the longest time. And I'm interested. Does anybody read something business every single day? Because I can't tell you how many agents I talk to and coach with, and I'll ask them, so what are you reading? And they'll be like, huh? What are you currently reading right now? There you go, Kim. What's yours say? Success. Your CRM of choice. Okay.
Yeah. All this, story of all the top producer, all the things that they do. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. Every day.
This is Alex Hormozi's book, $100 Million Money Models. Anyway, it's hard to see.
Right?
If you're not reading, may I recommend starting on that? And so this all comes from the Miracle Morning book. Set you up with a plan, a 1-hour plan in 6 10-minute modules. That's it. 6 10-minute modules, and it comes off the acronym SAVERS. If you don't have a plan for personal growth, here's one you could get started today. SAVERS. Silence, that's meditation. SAVERS, SAVERS. Affirmations. Doing affirmations, talking nicely to yourself. We say things internally or sometimes even out loud to ourselves that we would never say to another human being. We'll talk terrible to ourselves. And we feel that. That inner child feels that. You should not be talking poorly to yourself. You should be giving affirmations. Do you screw up? Yes, but that's how you learn. But if you call yourself bad names and things like that, you internalize that, okay? V stands for visualizations, a vision board. You can do it like that. E stands for exercise. Exercising 10 minutes of just getting your blood pumping, going at it, getting your heart rate up. High intensity interval training for that. Outside of your gym training, this is just bam, getting your blood pumping first thing in the morning. R stands for reading. And then the last one, then we'll wrap up with this. Does anybody journal? Does anybody do any writing? S stands for scribing in the SAVERS acronym. Does anybody do any journaling? I heard Kim saying she practices gratitude each day. Does anybody write their gratitude down each day, what they're grateful for? Hint, it's impossible to have a negative attitude if you're in gratitude. It's impossible. You can be having just the crappiest thing happen to you, but if you sit down and write 3 things that you're grateful for, it'll change everything in your life. Right? Anybody keep a journal and wants to talk as we wrap up? We're down to 60 seconds. We start on time and end on time here.
Yep.
Journaling can be done by hand, or you can use an app to guide you and prompt you. First of all, it'll remind you to do it, right? In the app in the phone, but also it'll ask you, what are 3 things that you're looking forward to today? And at the end of the day, it asks you, what are 3 things that happened today that were wonderful? And then it asks you to upload a photo or something of things that you were grateful for in the journal. And the great thing about it is when we all have that inevitable horrific thing that happens to us, all of us are going to have something horrific happen. You can go back and flip through the journal that you've kept of all the great things that have happened and remind yourself, talk yourself off the ledge, so to speak, of great things horrific things do happen, but I've had way more good things happen that I'm grateful for than I have that's bad.
Love it.
So we're going to wrap up with that. It's 1 o'clock. I want to thank everybody for jumping on. Bring a friend next week. We'd love to have
Next
him
week,
here. Your
we're gonna
participation.
talk
Thanks,
about
everybody. What are we gonna do next week?
Talk about educate and how to educate and motivate sellers and buyers for to 2025, this market and the next 20 months.
Yes.
So
One of the things we're going to be discussing,
buyers in the
we're discussing
2025
about
market.
buyers that are waiting for the rates to change.
Yep.
People are, I'm waiting for the rates to get below 5%. They're never coming back. And you have to be able to talk to people and let them know they're never going to be below 5% ever again. Okay, so just quit waiting. You're crazy. You're gonna never own a home if you're waiting for below 5. So we're talking about that, and we're talking about unrealistic sellers and how to get back into pricing strategies, how to get price decreases. The unethical parts of people coming in and overpricing houses on purpose just to win the listing. We're talking about those types of things. It's going to be a great one. We have a ton of experts, and guess who the experts are? You.
That's
You guys
right.
will be bringing your experiences, where you're at in your different markets, and we'll get all kinds of perspectives. It's going to be awesome. Things like
It'll
this.
be awesome.
It's Monday at noon Eastern.